Welcome, everyone. Today, I want to speak to you, not as a teacher, not as a coach, but as a human being who understands how hard it is to speak English. I know what it feels like when your brain is full of thoughts, but your mouth stays silent. I know how it feels to understand English, but not sound smart, confident, or fluent when you speak. You try to say something, but the words don't come out right. You pause. You panic. You feel small. And later, you regret it. You think, why didn't I sound better? Why do others sound so confident? Why does my English sound weak? If that's you, then this video is for you. Because today, we're not just learning English. We're not just improving grammar. We're not just adding vocabulary. Today, we're going deeper. We're going to learn how to speak smartly, like the people you admire, like the professionals in interviews, like the leaders in meetings, like the confident people who speak less, but say more. Because here's the truth. Speaking smart English is not about big words. It's not about having a perfect accent. And it's definitely not about memorizing textbook phrases. Speaking smart English is about one thing: knowing how to express your thoughts clearly, calmly, and confidently. So people actually listen. You don't need to be fluent to sound smart. You don't need 10,000 words to sound powerful. You just need to learn the right mindset, the right strategy, and the right principles. And that's exactly what I'll give you in this video. I've designed these 8 life-changing principles for English beginners who want to sound clear, professionals who want to speak with confidence, students who want to express their ideas better, anyone who wants to sound smart, not complicated. These principles are simple but powerful. They are easy to understand, but will completely change how you speak. And by the end of this video, you'll be able to speak English in a way that sounds calm, controlled, and truly intelligent. I promise you, this video won't waste your time. Every second will give you something useful. Every principle will unlock something powerful inside you. And most importantly, you will believe that you can speak smart English. So take a deep breath. Forget your fear. Let's begin the transformation. Principle 1. Stop speaking to impress. Start speaking to express. Let me ask you something. Why do most people sound fake or nervous when they speak English? It's because they're trying too hard. They're trying to impress people, not express themselves. They want to sound intelligent. They want to sound like native speakers. They want to use big words to look smart. So they say things like, "At this particular moment in time, I would like to emphasize the significance of..." But let me tell you something important. Smart people don't try to sound smart. Smart people try to be understood. They don't use long sentences full of confusing words. They speak in a way that connects. That's the key. Speaking to impress. Uses big words you don't fully understand. Creates long, complicated sentences. Tries to sound like a professor or a native speaker. Often results in sounding unnatural, awkward, or fake. Speaking to express. Uses clear, simple, and honest words. Focuses on the message, not the decoration. Sounds real, confident, and smart. Let me give you a real example. Imagine you want to say you're not happy with the team's decision. Here's the impress version. Well, considering the multitude of factors and given the nature of the circumstances, I must articulate a degree of dissatisfaction with the trajectory of this particular decision. Sounds impressive, right? But it's completely unclear. Now here's the smart version. I don't agree with the decision. Here's why. Clear, honest, expressed, understood. That's real communication. What happens when you try to impress? You hesitate more because you're trying to remember fancy words. You lose confidence because you feel like you're acting. You disconnect from the listener because you sound artificial. But when you speak to express, you sound natural. You feel relaxed. People feel connected to your words. And guess what? That's what makes you sound smart. Not the words, but the confidence, the clarity, the calmness. Here's what you can do right now. Stop copying fancy phrases from books. Don't use a word unless you truly understand and feel it. Example. Instead of utilize, just say use. Before speaking, ask yourself, what do I really want to say? What's the simplest way to say it? Use emotions to guide your sentence. Speak like you would speak in your native language, but in English. Your tone and expression will make your English feel real. Bonus tip. Smart people use short sentences. They break complex ideas into simple parts. I understand your point, but I see it differently. Let me explain. That's powerful. That's smart. That's what you should aim for. Principle 2. Use short, clear sentences. Cut the extra words. Let's begin with one big truth that no one tells you. The longer your sentence, the weaker your message. The shorter your sentence, the stronger your impact. Most English learners think that speaking in long, complex sentences makes them sound smart. So they try to pack too many ideas into one sentence. They use words like actually, basically, like, maybe, you know, I mean, kinda, sort of, just wanted to, literally. And the sentence becomes too long, too confusing, too soft, and finally, forgettable. Let me show you what I mean. Weak, long sentence. I was just kind of thinking that maybe, if it's okay with you, I could possibly join you guys later on today for the thing that you're going to, you know? This is what we call verbal spaghetti. A sentence full of unnecessary words, no clear structure, and no confidence. Now let's make it smart and clear. Smart, short sentence. Can I join you later today? One sentence, 5 words, that's it. Simple, clear, confident. And you sound smart, without using a single difficult word. People don't listen to long sentences. They listen to strong sentences. When you use fewer words, people understand you faster, respect your confidence, feel your clarity, trust your communication. Remember this rule. In English, clarity is king, not complexity. You're not writing an essay. You're not taking an exam. You're speaking to a human being, and human beings want clarity, not decoration. The real problem is not grammar. The problem is fear. Most people speak long, soft sentences because they're afraid. Afraid of sounding rude, afraid of making mistakes, afraid of not being liked, afraid of silence, afraid of rejection. So they try to hide that fear behind a wall of words. They say, I'm not sure, but I just feel like maybe. But here's the truth. The more you talk, the less people hear. The less you talk, the more they listen. Smart English is about impact, not word count. Here's how you can train yourself to speak with short, clear, smart sentences starting today. Cut out filler words. These are words you use when you're nervous or not sure what to say. Examples. Just, maybe, kind of, I guess, like, you know. Try removing these and see how strong your sentence becomes. I just wanted to maybe ask if you could help me. Can you help me? I kind of think that maybe we should. We should. Less is more. Use the one breath rule. If you can't say a sentence in one breath, it's probably too long. Try this. Say the sentence out loud. If you need to stop in the middle for breath, split it into two sentences. Example. I went to the office today because I had to submit the documents. And then after that, I went to meet my friend. And then we went to have lunch together, which was nice. That's too much. Break it up. I went to the office to submit the documents. Then I met a friend. We had lunch together. It was nice, clear, short, smart. Practice with everyday moments. Use this trick when you're talking to yourself, messaging someone, writing your thoughts, commenting online. Ask yourself, can I say this in fewer words? Turn. Hey, I was thinking that maybe if you're free and not busy, we could possibly go out. Into, are you free to go out? Same message. Stronger presence. Listen to leaders. They speak short. Watch how leaders, CEOs, speakers, and influencers talk. They don't speak fast. They don't speak a lot. They speak with impact. We can do better. Let's fix this. Here's the plan. I believe in you. They win trust not by talking more, but by talking clearly. Practice the rule of one idea per sentence. Many learners try to squeeze too many ideas into one sentence. Don't. Speak one idea at a time. Instead of, yeah, so I think that the project is kind of going well, but also there are some issues that maybe we could fix and we should probably talk about that later if we have time. Say, the project is going well, but there are a few issues. Let's talk about them later. 3 ideas, 3 sentences. That's how smart people speak. The deep truth. You must remember. You don't need more English to sound smart. You need less English, but used with precision. Imagine 2 people. One speaks 100 words, and you remember none of them. One speaks 10 words, and you remember every single one. Who sounds smarter? The second one. That's what this principle gives you. Power in every word. Long sentences don't make you smart. They make you invisible. Smart English is short, clear, and full of purpose. Train your mind to express ideas in fewer, stronger sentences. Cut the noise. Speak the truth. Be heard. When you speak like this, people stop scrolling. They stop typing. They stop talking. And they listen. Because you don't speak to fill space. You speak to make space. Principle 3. Think before you speak. Silence is a superpower. Let me ask you something very honest. Have you ever said something in English and then immediately wished you said it differently? Have you ever started speaking, but halfway through the sentence you realize your message is unclear and your confidence drops? Have you ever felt like your mouth was moving faster than your brain? That's exactly what this principle solves. Because if you want to speak smart English, you need to learn one of the most powerful speaking habits in the world. Think before you speak. Pause before you respond. Silence is not weakness. Silence is power. What's the real problem? Most English learners speak too fast because they're nervous. They're afraid of silence. They're afraid that if they pause, people will think they don't know English. So they fill the silence with, like, you know. So basically, these are not words. They are panic buttons. They are verbal noise, not smart communication. Let me tell you a secret used by powerful speakers around the world. Smart people speak slower, with more pauses. They don't rush to reply. They don't fight silence. They use silence. In fact, if you study great speakers, politicians, CEOs, TED talkers, negotiators, they all have one thing in common. They think first, Then they speak. And because of that, every word they say feels sharp. It feels intelligent. It feels calm. It feels like they are in control, not just of the conversation, but of the moment. Let's destroy the myth right now. Silence is not awkward. Silence is not embarrassing. Silence is your moment to organize your thoughts, choose the right word, build suspense, show maturity, project confidence. In fact, silence gives your sentence oxygen. If you speak without silence, your words feel like they are choking each other. But when you pause, even for a second, your words breathe, your message grows, your listener leans in. That's smart speaking. Imagine someone asks you, "What's your opinion about the project?" Now let's compare two answers. Nervous, fast answer, no pause. I think that it was kind of okay, but maybe a few things could have been better, I guess. I don't know, it's just my opinion. This sounds unsure. It sounds like the speaker is afraid of being wrong. It's full of filler. It's rushed. And because of that, the message is lost. Now, let's take the same person, same English level, but with the pause technique. Smart, calm answer with pause. Pause. I think the project went well overall, but a few things need improvement. Let me explain. That's not advanced English, but it's advanced thinking. It's calm, it's collected, it's smart. And here's the most powerful part. This speaker sounds like a leader, not because of vocabulary, but because of control. You don't need a teacher to master this. You don't need a native speaker. All you need is yourself, your thoughts, and a few seconds of silence. Here's how to practice it. Before you speak, breathe. One deep breath gives your brain oxygen, clarity, and time to choose the right sentence. Don't jump into a response like a race. Wait, even just 1 second. You'll see the difference instantly. Practice micro pauses between sentences. Instead of speaking like this, "I went to the store and I bought some milk, and then I met a friend and we had coffee, and then we went for a walk." Try this. I went to the store. I bought some milk. Then I met a friend. We had coffee. Later, we went for a walk. Same story, but this version feels real, clear, and in control. Use silence before responding in a conversation. When someone asks you a question, pause. Even just for a beat. Don't say, yeah, so I think maybe. Say nothing for 2 seconds. Then say, "Let me think about that. Here's how I see it." That's a good question. Now you've taken the power of the moment. Practice alone with a mirror or camera. Speak your thoughts out loud in English, but do this. After every sentence, pause. After every idea, take a breath. Don't rush, don't panic. It will feel slow at first, but that's because you've trained your brain to panic. Now you're training it to lead. Watch great speakers. Count their pauses. Go on YouTube and watch a TED Talk. Don't focus on what they're saying. Focus on when they pause. You'll notice. They speak slowly. They use silence before big ideas. Their pauses make their message stronger. And you'll realize, they don't sound smart because they talk fast. They sound smart because they talk right. People will not remember how much you said. They will remember how you made them feel. And you can only make someone feel something when you are present, calm, and in control. Silence gives you that power. It gives your words space to shine. It gives your listener time to absorb. And it gives you the presence of someone who is not just learning English, but living it like a leader. Think before you speak. Pause before you respond. Don't fear silence. Use it. Smart English is calm, not rushed. 1 second of silence can make your sentence 10 times more powerful. The world doesn't listen to the loudest voice. It listens to the clearest one. And clarity is born from stillness. You don't have to speak fast to prove your intelligence. You have to speak with purpose. And silence is where purpose begins. Principle 4. Replace weak words with power phrases. There's a secret that fluent speakers and confident communicators know. A secret that makes them sound smart, respectful, and in charge. Even when they say simple things. That secret is this. They don't use weak words. They use power phrases. And in English, this one small change makes a huge difference. Most English learners speak with soft, uncertain, nervous language. Not because they are weak, but because they don't know better. They use words like maybe, I think, I guess, sort of, kind of, probably, hopefully, just, actually, basically. These are called hedging words. They reduce the strength of your sentence. Let's look at some examples. Weak version. I just kind of think that maybe we should probably try to do something about it. Now look at the power version of the same message. Power version. We need to fix this. Let's start now simple, clear, direct. No extra noise, no fear, no doubt. This is what makes a speaker sound confident and smart, not vocabulary, but control. Why do people use weak words? The answer is simple. Fear. They are afraid of sounding rude, being judged, being wrong, taking responsibility. So they hide behind soft language. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think. But smart English doesn't hide. Smart English is not rude. It's respectful, confident, and precise. Let's go deeper. A power phrase is a sentence that shows leadership, creates clarity, commands attention, feels confident. Even if your vocabulary is simple. These phrases can replace your old weak phrases, and the result is immediate. Let's upgrade your communication right now. Replace this with that. Weak phrase power. Phrase, I just wanted to say, here's what I want to say. I guess we could try. Let's try this. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me give you my view. I kind of think, I believe this. I hope that's okay. Let me know if that works for you. Actually, let's clarify this. I think we should consider this. Sort of, it's like this. Probably, I'm confident that these are not fancy sentences, but they feel stronger because they carry ownership, direction, and trust. People don't just listen to your words. They listen to your intention. When you say, I think maybe we should, it feels like you're unsure, like you're asking permission. But when you say, let's do this, now you're leading. You're taking control of the moment. You're expressing yourself with clarity. This is why smart English is not about saying more. It's about saying with purpose. You don't need a textbook. You don't need an app. You need awareness, practice, and courage. Here's how you build this into your life. Record yourself speaking normally. Choose a topic, any topic. Talk about it for 1 minute. Then listen to your recording. Count how many weak words you use. Just, maybe, kinda. I think, I guess, hopefully. Don't be afraid. Awareness is step 1. Now write down the stronger version of each sentence. Create your own power phrase list. Every time you learn a better way to say something, write it down. Start a power phrases notebook. Examples. Instead of sorry to disturb you, say, is now a good time to talk? Instead of, maybe we can, say, let's consider this. Soon you'll have 50 to 100 go-to sentences that make you sound clear and confident in any situation. Practice power upgrades in daily messages. Next time you text someone in English, don't type like this. "Hey, I was just wondering if maybe you could help me." Instead, try, "Hey, can you help me with something?" See the difference? Same person, same English level. But one version sounds unsure. The other sounds confident and clear. Use power phrases at work, school, and life. Wherever you speak English, apply this. In meetings, instead of, "I think that's maybe not the best option," say, "We should explore another solution." In interviews, instead of, "I hope to get this role," say, "I'm excited about the opportunity." In daily life, instead of, "Maybe I'll do it later," say, "I'll take care of it today." This shift will transform your presence in every conversation. Teach someone else. If you really want to master this principle, teach it to someone else. Explain to a friend how to replace soft language with power phrases. The moment you teach it, you begin to own it. You begin to live it. And when you live this principle, people will say, "Wow, you sound different. You sound strong." And that's when you know you're speaking smart English. Your words are not just communication. Your words are your presence. And presence begins when your language reflects your inner confidence. You may not be fluent yet. You may make grammar mistakes. You may forget vocabulary. But if your intention is clear and your phrases are strong, people will listen. They will trust you. They will respect you. Because smart English is not about speaking perfectly. It's about speaking with clarity, strength, and leadership. Weak words create doubt. Power phrases create respect. Stop saying, "I think maybe." Start saying, "Here's what I believe." Practice speaking like someone who leads. Build a notebook of phrases that make you sound calm, clear, and confident. Every sentence you speak is either building your power or giving it away. Choose power. Principle 5. Control your tone. Don't let your voice sound like a question. Let me begin with a truth that very few people talk about. It's not just what you say. It's how you say it. You can say the most intelligent sentence in the world. But if your tone is nervous, uncertain, or weak, people will doubt you. You can say something very basic. But if your tone is calm, clear, and confident, people will respect you. This is the hidden power of your tone. And most English learners ignore it completely. They focus on grammar. They focus on vocabulary. They focus on fluency. But what they forget is this. Your voice has a personality, and tone is the way it speaks to the world. One of the biggest mistakes learners make is something called rising intonation. This means your voice goes up at the end of the sentence, as if you're asking a question, even when you're not. For example, "I think we should try a new idea." That doesn't sound confident. It sounds like you're unsure, like you're asking for permission. Even if your words are strong, your tone is weak. Now listen to the smart version. "I think we should try a new idea." Voice goes down at the end. This is called falling intonation, and it instantly makes you sound more mature, certain, and in control. Why does this happen? Many learners use rising tone because they're nervous. They want to sound polite. They're copying native speakers' casual speech. They're not confident in their sentence. They're afraid of sounding rude. But here's the truth. Confidence is not rude. Clarity is not arrogance. You can speak kindly and still sound like a leader. You can sound soft and still be strong. The key is to speak with intention, not with fear. This skill changes everything. Once you control your tone, people feel your energy, not just your grammar. Let's break it down. Record and listen to your voice. Most people never listen to how they sound. But if you don't know your own tone, you can't improve it. Here's what to do. Record yourself saying these 3 statements. I believe this is the right choice. Let's do it. This idea will work. Now play it back. Does your voice go up at the end? Like a question? Or does it fall with calm confidence? If you sound like you're asking instead of stating, practice again. Use falling tone for statements. Anytime you are giving your opinion, explaining your idea, making a decision, let your voice fall at the end of the sentence. This tells the listener, I am sure. I am not afraid. You can trust what I say. Example, I think this is a good idea. I think this is a good idea. Use rising tone. Only when asking real questions. Rising tone is useful, but only when you are genuinely asking a question. What time is the meeting? Are you free this weekend? This helps the listener know that you are expecting an answer. But if you use rising tone all the time, it confuses people. They don't know if you're asking or telling. They don't know if you're leading or following. And you lose the power of your message. Stand or sit with confidence while speaking. Your tone is not just in your throat. It's in your chest, your breath, your posture. If you sit with a bent back, low shoulders, nervous body language, your voice becomes weak and unsure. But if you sit upright, breathe deeply, and speak slowly, your voice becomes stable. You don't need to shout. You don't need to act. You just need to own your breath. That's where the tone of leadership begins. Speak in short sentences with a calm ending. The best way to train your tone is with short sentences. Let every sentence feel like a final message, not an open question. We start tomorrow. This plan is better. Thank you for your time. Speak each sentence like you mean it, like it's the last sentence you'll ever say. That energy changes the way people hear you. Don't end every sentence like a question, unless you're asking one. Speak with falling tone to show confidence. Use short, calm sentences that feel complete. Record yourself and improve your awareness. Let your voice reflect your message, not your fear. When your tone is controlled, your message becomes unforgettable. Because language is not just communication, it's leadership, and leaders speak with presence. Principle 6, start strong. Use power openers to lead conversations. This is the art of the first sentence, the opener, the moment when you begin to speak. Because here's the truth. The first sentence decides whether people will listen to your second sentence. If you start weak, they disconnect. If you start strong, they follow. And that's why you need to learn how to start smart. This is what we call a power opener. A short, confident sentence that tells people, you have something worth saying. You are not afraid. You are clear about your purpose. Weak openers. Avoid these. I just wanted to say something. Sorry, maybe I'm wrong, but it's probably not important, but I don't know if this makes sense, but these are apologies, not introductions. They kill your power before your message even begins. Now compare that with these. Smart power openers. Let me share something quickly. Here's how I see it. Can I add something? Let's keep this simple. There's something we need to look at. See the difference? These sentences are not aggressive. They are intentional. They open the door with confidence. And once you start strong, people lean in, they listen, they take you seriously. Why do most learners start weak? Because they're afraid of being judged. They want to speak, but they also want to be safe. So they apologize, they delay, they hesitate. But smart English doesn't begin with fear. Smart English begins with structure, clarity, and calm power. Let's learn how to build that. You don't need complex grammar. You don't need an accent. You just need a few powerful habits. Let's go step by step. Memorize 10 power starters. Create a personal collection of sentence starters that feel smart and clear. For example, this is what I think. Let's make this easy. Here's my understanding. May I share something? Let's clarify this point. Practice saying these out loud. Train your mouth to use these instead of or maybe. Make your first sentence a signal of strength. Use power openers in real conversations. When speaking in English, start with a purpose. Don't say, I know this might sound silly, but say, here's my thought. It's not about being perfect. It's about being present. Use it in writing too. Start your emails or messages with power phrases. Instead of, sorry to disturb you, but I was thinking maybe, try. Quick update from my side. This trains your brain to stop apologizing for speaking. You're not disturbing anyone. You're contributing something valuable. Observe great speakers. Learn their openers. Watch 5 TED Talks this week. Don't focus on the speech. Focus on how they start. You'll notice they begin with a story, or with a bold sentence, or with a deep question. They don't waste time apologizing. They begin like they belong, and that's the energy you need to master. Practice first sentences in front of a mirror. Say 10 different power openers every morning. Look into your own eyes and say, let me tell you something important. Here's what I believe. This matters. Speak like someone who deserves to be heard, and the world will hear you. Your first sentence decides how people see you. Don't start with fear. Start with clarity. Learn and practice 10 power openers. Use them in speech, writing, and thinking. Speak like someone who has something important to say. Because you do. In English, the first 5 seconds of your voice can open the door, or close it forever. Start like you mean it. Start like a leader. Principle 7. Use real examples, not long explanations. Let's face a brutal truth. Most people speak too much and say too little. They try to explain everything in one long, complicated sentence. They go around and around, using too many words, and never getting to the point. And in that flood of words, the message drowns. But the smartest speakers, the most respected voices, they do something very different. They don't explain everything. They show it. They use one real, clear example, and that's enough. This is what makes people say, now I get it. That makes sense. That was smart. Because examples are not just helpful. They are the language of clarity. When your English is limited, you might try to over-explain something to sound smarter. But when you speak smartly, you say less and you show more. Here's why examples work. Examples are easy to understand, even for children. They create images in the mind. They make your message feel real and emotional. They prove your point without forcing it. And here's the truth. If people can see it in their mind, they'll never forget it. Weak version. Sometimes people are not direct, and they act differently than they feel, and it's like they're not saying what they mean, and it can be confusing. This is long. It's confusing. It doesn't help the listener understand. Smart version. It's like when someone says, "I'm fine," but you can tell from their face, they're not. Boom. Now the listener feels it. No more confusion. Just instant connection. That's the power of real examples. You don't need big vocabulary. You just need to use small, powerful real-life moments. After every idea, ask yourself, can I show this? For example, you want to say, sometimes people lie politely. Instead of explaining it, say, it's like when someone says, sorry, I'm busy, but they just don't want to come. That's smart English. That's communication that sticks. Use personal experience. Smart speakers don't need to invent examples. They just use real life. Yesterday, I tried to say something in English, but I couldn't remember the word. So I used a simpler one. And it worked. This example teaches confidence, creativity, and fluency. Without explaining, it shows it. Practice. This is like sentence starters. Train yourself to use sentences that introduce examples. It's like when, for example, imagine you. Let me give you an example. This happened to me once. These phrases immediately make your speaking smarter and easier to follow. Turn complicated ideas into simple moments. You don't need to say, and fluency develops gradually through repetitive exposure to contextual vocabulary and natural sentence structures over time. Just say, it's like learning to ride a bike. You fall a few times, but then you get it. One example beats 100 words of confusion. Use examples in interviews, presentations, and daily talk. You want to impress someone? Don't show your grammar, show your clarity. You want to inspire someone? Don't give a lecture, give a story. You want to lead a conversation? Don't use long paragraphs, use short examples. This works in business, in class, in daily life, everywhere. Don't over-explain. Show with real-life examples. Use short, smart, powerful moments to prove your point. Train yourself to say, it's like when, and finish the thought. People don't remember long explanations. They remember real examples. And when you speak like this, you're not just speaking English. You're speaking in a way people remember forever. Principle 8, final. End strong. Never fade out your sentences. This is the final principle, the one that decides whether people respect your voice or forget it. And it's something almost no one teaches. How you end your sentence determines how powerful your message feels. Let me explain. Most learners speak like this. They begin with some energy. Then their sentence becomes soft. And at the end, it just fades out like a weak battery. Yeah, so that's kind of what I was thinking. I guess the result? No impact, no strength, no presence. But smart English ends like this. That's my idea. Let me know your thoughts. This approach is better. Let's try it. I've said what I needed. Thank you. These endings are clear. They are complete. They feel confident, even if your grammar isn't perfect. And that's what smart speaking is about. Why do people fade out? Because they are afraid. Afraid of being wrong. Afraid of rejection. Afraid of sounding too strong. Afraid of ending the sentence too directly. So instead of ending, they escape. They whisper. They mumble. They hope someone will fill the silence. But here's the truth. Powerful people end their sentence with purpose, not permission. This is the last and most emotional transformation. Because when you learn to end strong, you start to believe in your own words. Let's train it. Record 10 sentences. Focus only on the last 3 words. Say these. Let's make a decision. That's what I believe. I appreciate your time. This is my answer. Now play it back. Are you ending with power, or are you fading out quietly? If the end sounds soft and unsure, record again. Train your mouth to say the last 3 words with calm strength. Use full stops, not question marks. End with this. We should try something new. Not this. We should try something new. Even if the words are the same, the final tone changes everything. Smart English always ends with a period, not a question mark, unless you're truly asking. Slow down at the end. Most learners rush the final words, but smart speakers pause slightly before the end and deliver it slowly. I trust you. Not I trust you. Give it time. Give it weight. Let it land. That pause is not empty. That pause is power. Practice with thank you. One of the best ways to train ending power is with the phrase, thank you. Most people say it like a throwaway, and thanks, but smart people say, thank you, with full breath, full presence, full control. It's simple, but it stays in the room. Own the final word, without fear. The end of your sentence is not a cliff. It's your crown. You worked hard to find your words. Now let them finish strong. Don't run away. Don't shrink. Don't fade. Say it like you deserve to be heard. Because you do. Always end your sentence with clarity and confidence. Never mumble or fade out. Finish like a leader. Slow down at the end. Breathe. Let it land. Practice strong endings with daily phrases. Your last words are your strongest. Use them wisely. When you end strong, people feel it. They remember it. And they remember you. Now you've seen all 8 powerful principles. And if you listened with your heart, not just your ears, then something inside you has already changed. Because smart English isn't about being perfect. It's about being clear, being honest, being calm and in control. It's not about big words. It's about big presence. And you don't need 1,000 lessons to speak smartly. You just need these truths. Stop trying to impress. Start expressing. Keep your sentences short and clean. Think before you speak. Replace weak words with power phrases. Control your tone. Don't let your voice sound like a question. Start with strength. Don't apologize for speaking. Use examples instead of long explanations. And never fade out your sentence. Finish strong. These aren't tips. These are tools. And if you use them, your English won't just improve. You will transform. You'll stop hiding behind words, and you'll start standing behind them. So don't wait for confidence. Don't wait for perfect grammar. Don't wait for someone to give you permission to speak. You are ready now. Speak like your voice matters. Because it does. Speak like your thoughts are valuable. Because they are. And speak like someone who's not trying to prove something, but trying to share something that matters. That's smart English. And that's the version of you the world is waiting to hear. Thank you for watching. If this video helped you, subscribe for more videos that go beyond English. And speak to the soul. Because here, we don't just teach language. We build confidence, clarity, and a voice that the world will never forget.